Do you like role-playing games? Because I like role-playing games. Do you like ponies? Because I like ponies. And when you combine role-playing games and ponies, you get Renegade's My Little Pony role-playing game, but that's a topic for another video. You also get Tales of Equestria, and today we talk about Tales of Equestria, and more precisely about character sheets. In role-playing games, character sheets are one of the two things that flesh out your characters. What's written down on this sheet is their traits, their strengths, their weaknesses, what they can and cannot do, what's easy for them, and what puts them in trouble. In Tales of Equestria, the character sheet is pretty simple compared to a lot of other games. The official character sheet looks like this, or like this for non-ponies, but the format is pretty free. You can put it on a sheet of paper, on a text file, or on a post-it note if you want. But, and listen to me, your mind is not a valid support for your character sheet. You need to write it down somewhere. Let's use the official character sheet to break down what makes a character in Tales of Equestria. Character name. That's the name of your character. There are some naming conventions depending on the race you play, but you don't have to follow them if you don't want to. I'll still put all the naming conventions I know here, and you have 3 seconds to pause if you want to read them. Player name. That's your name. I don't think you need me for this one. If you don't remember your name, ask your parents or go see a doctor. Character race. That part is the most important. It has a big influence on all these parts of the character sheet. It decides most of your talents and also a bit of your traits, quirks, and of course your appearance. Since Tales of Equestria has no class system, basically your race is your class. You won't get a pass, no need for the sass. There are 17 races you can play. Some sentient nay, a he, she, or they, a dragon who's big but fancy, a regular farmer's pony. If homebrew is free, a bat or a tree. These are the races of TOE. The Earth Pony is big and sturdy, stronger body for work and for fight, the power of their heart can double their might, every once in a while they can buck your booty. Pegasus, walk on clouds and spread your wings, soar in the sky like a queen or a king, you've got the power, master of the weather, sun, rain and thunder at the reach of the feather. Unicorn, pointy but snooty, can move stuff around and the life's pretty, they know a few spells and many a trick, even without friend they have their magic. To bring out the shine, Crystal Pony is cool, a bit less smart but also shiny, stamina's based on charm and body, you will live longer if you're a fool. Buffalo, territorial and proud, like to stampede, don't get in their way, they've got thick skin so they will be okay, they can be your best friend if you're trapped in a crowd. Funny horse and bug thing, hungry for love is the changeling, copy the others, their wings, their magic, they can be anyone but worse, it's tragic. Diamond dog, a secretive pack, live underground and hide behind trees, bit of a poacher, an instinct to track, they dig for gems and all things pretty. Dragons are fiery and bold, can spit some fire and melt some candy, but on the inside they're also greedy, get big and stupid if you give them gold. Griffin, the spicy hot wings, got big talents to scratch and grab things, like coins, jewels, everything with value, from the earth to the sky they get what they pursue. If Griffin's spicy, Hippogriff's tender, if they can fly alone they can help another, they command respect, support and inspire. For a shard of the pearl, go beg your game master. Abyssinians, cats you may say, speedy but slender, know the safe play, wait for the time and win on a hunch, land on their feet but can't throw a punch. Lizard folk, diverse and hardy, if you need to listen they'll know what to say, strong with their muscles but they skip leg day, and lying to them that's a bad idea. For brighter colors, parrots the right thing, a talent for flair and being amazing, whether on the ground, the sea or the sky, they will find their way, too bad they can't fly. The Kirin's warm and fuzzy, carry stuff magically so muscle won't tire, good heart and good looks make charming easy, but make one angry you'll end up on fire. Yaks, traditional and massive, big solid skin for cold or a clash, and also quite agile, crafty and creative, but they're perfectionist, if no good they smash. Giant spiders, scuttling to adventure, they can weave a web and fill those who venture, swing from a thread and climb on the ceiling, but I still do not get why they are a thing. And if you're a nerd, be a magic book, you can float around and get off the hook, you can send out pages or message or such, you know many things but don't get out much. These are the choices, and if you play equine, you get to pick a special talent to shine. If you do not, I know it's a shame, but to me and the game you'll all look the same. Level. Most of the time you will start at level 1. If you start at a higher level, or if you level up, you'll have to do special things that we'll see later, so let's put a pin on that. Element of harmony. Okay, so if you found this video without knowing anything about My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, I'm sorry to tell you that it's too late to go back. Resisting is futile, and there is no escape. But don't worry, I'll help you. Everything is going to be fine. Let the power of friendship flow through you. Also, there are 6 elements of harmony: kindness, generosity, laughter, loyalty, honesty, magic. Magic isn't really about spells, but connecting the first 5 elements to get the best out of them. Your element of harmony doesn't give you anything concretely, it just guides the way you play your character, like an alignment in other games. You don't even have to choose one if you don't want to, and of course, you don't always have to follow your element 100% of the time. Just like Applejack can lie despite representing the element of honesty, and Pinkie Pie can get depressed despite representing the element of laughter. Your element is a trait that helps you flesh out your character, that can describe what makes them tick, but not something that forces anything on the way you play your character. Friendship. That's where you put your friendship tokens. At the very beginning, you have one for every player around the table, including you and the Game Master, because the Game Master is your friend, right? Friendship tokens can give you rerolls when you fail, or give you some small bonuses here and there. From this point on, we'll get into the real stats part of things, the crunchy numbers and rules of what you can do easily, hardly, or not at all. Each time there's a base roll, and depending on your race, there will be exceptions. Stamina. The stamina is, well, your stamina, or your energy. You lose stamina if you do something exhausting, or if you get hit in the face. If it reaches 0, you faint and can't do anything anymore. You regain stamina with healing abilities, items, food, and sleep. To have your maximum stamina, you add your body and mind values. One exception to that is if you play a crystal pony. In this case, for your stamina, you add your body and charm values. At level 1, it's 10 for everyone, except crystal ponies, who can raise it up to 14, depending on the rest of their stats, and earth ponies, who will always have 12. Body, mind, and charm are your traits. They are the basic stats, those you're going to use by default. Body for everything physical, whether it's strength or speed. Mind for everything mental, reasoning, memory, experience. Charm for everything cute or creative, so making ponies like you, or fear you. But also everything that involves creation, like sculpting, painting, or cooking. For traits, the rule is that you choose if you want more strengths or smarts. If you decide to focus on body, you'll get d6 in body and d4 in mind. If you decide to focus on mind, you put d4 under body and d6 under mind. You do that for every creature, except the changeling. At this step for the changeling, you put d4 everywhere. Then, if your character has the stout heart talent, that is, if you're a nurse pony, a crystal pony, or once again a changeling, you upgrade your body die. If it's d4, it goes to d6, and if it's already d6, it goes to d8. Okay, what about the third box, the charm one? Well, the rule is to have d6 in charm, unless you're part of the ugly races. Which one are the ugly races? Well, the ugly races are changeling, yaks, and giant spiders. Sorry, these are the rules, I don't make the rules. Now, those parts are the appearance and the cutie mark, or the face of a friend for those who don't have a cutie mark. That's just for appearance. Next, we've talked a bit about them already. There get you talents and quirks. Some are set by the race, some have to be chosen. For talents, if you have a pony race, you can pick a special talent or upgrade your race talent to d8. For other races, you don't get to pick any talent at level 1. Now, quirks. Just like talents make your character shine, quirks put them in trouble. It can be a fear, an allergy, an attitude, anything that can put your character in a difficult situation. Most races have to pick a quirk. Only changelings, dragons, and magic books don't need to pick a quirk, and only have their race quirk. And some have both a race quirk and a quirk to pick. That's crystal ponies, kittens, yaks, and giant spiders. Here's the summary sheet. With that, you have everything you need to create a level 1 character. In short, first pick your race and enter your talents, choose one if you need to. Then choose your traits based on this chart. Then pick a quirk if you need to, and finally pick an element of harmony if you want to. But what happens when you level up? Or when you start a story, not at level 1, but level 2, 3, 4? How do you level up? Well, you level up in 3 steps. First, you upgrade a trait, meaning you're going to change the die you use for a bigger one. A d4 becomes a d6, a d6 becomes a d8, etc. If you upgrade your body or mind trait, or body or charm if you're a crystal pony, don't forget to upgrade your stamina too. Your stamina must always be body plus mind. Again, body plus charm if you're a crystal pony. Second, you upgrade all the talents you have used since the last level up. Third and final, you can either upgrade a talent you haven't used or pick a new talent at d4. And that's your level up. But what if you're just starting? You haven't used any talents, so what happens? Well, in that case, the second step changes. Instead of upgrading talents you have used, You just pick 2 and upgrade them. And for the third step, you can either pick a third one to upgrade or get a new talent. Note that some game masters prefer to use different rules for leveling up. In general, game masters can always decide to do things differently than in the rules, so always go with what your game master says. For example, for leveling up during a game, I also tell my players just pick 2 talents to level up, instead of every single one they have used. And that's all I had to say about character sheets in Tales of Equestria. You can find all of the reminder sheets on my socials, which are in the description, for all your character creation and upgrade needs. Goodbye!